Hello. Before you open your inbox, before you review your calendar, before you begin responding to what everyone else needs from you, I want you to pause and ask yourself one question. What capacity do I actually have available for the week ahead? Welcome to the inaugural Monday Morning Capacity Check. I'm Dr. Kim Hires, founder of the Nightingale firm and creator of the Human Capacity Advantage System. Every Monday, we will take a few minutes to step out of reaction mode, assess what the week is asking of us, and make one intentional decision about how we will carry it. This is not another Monday morning productivity routine. I'm not here to help you fit more into an already overloaded week. The purpose of the Monday morning capacity check is to help you recognize the relationship between what is being demanded of you and the capacity you currently have available to meet those demands. Because your calendar may tell you what you have committed to do, but it cannot tell you whether you currently have the capacity to do it well. Leaders are often encouraged to begin the week by reviewing their priorities, setting goals, and organizing their schedules. Those practices can be useful, but they usually begin with the work. What needs to be completed? Which meetings are scheduled? What decisions need to be made? Who needs an answer? Which deadline is approaching? The Monday morning capacity check begins somewhere else. It begins with the person responsible for carrying the work. Because the same workload does not create the same load every week. A schedule that felt manageable last month may feel very different this month. You may be operating with less sleep. You may be carrying a family concern. You may be recovering from an illness. You may be navigating uncertainty within your organization. You may be entering a week filled with decisions, conflict, travel, caregiving, or change. None of that means you are incapable of leading. It means that your available capacity is not fixed. And responsible leadership begins by accounting for what is true, not performing as though your capacity is unlimited. This practice is part of what I call human capacity hygiene. Think about the routines you use to protect other resources. You monitor your finances, you charge your devices, you maintain your equipment, you review performance data, you prepare for important meetings. Human capacity requires regular attention too. Human capacity hygiene is the practice of routinely noticing, protecting, restoring, and managing the resources you depend upon to function effectively. It is not something you do only after you become overwhelmed. It is not an emergency response to burnout. It is an ongoing maintenance. The Monday morning capacity check is one part of that maintenance. It gives you an opportunity to recognize a potential mismatch before that mismatch begins making decisions for you. Because when your load consistently exceeds your available capacity, you become more likely to operate reactively. You may answer too quickly, delay a necessary conversation, avoid a difficult decision, overcommit, become less patient, miss important information, or continue accepting demands that should have been questioned. Reactive leadership is not always caused by a lack of skill. Sometimes it is what happens when a capable person is trying to lead without enough capacity available for what that moment requires. That brings us to a second principle within the human capacity advantage system: capacity load alignment. Capacity load alignment exists when the demands you are carrying are reasonably matched with the resources available to meet them. That does not mean every week will be easy. That does not mean you will never experience pressure. Leadership includes pressure. The question is whether the load is supportable or whether you are relying on chronic overextension to hold everything together. You do not need to complete a complicated exercise to begin noticing that difference. For today, we are going to start with one simple rating. On a scale from 1 to 5, how would you rate your current capacity for the week ahead? 1 means I am already operating at beyond my limit. Even ordinary capacity may be difficult to carry effectively. 2 means my capacity is significantly constrained. I can meet some demands, but not everything currently expected of me. 3 means my capacity is functional but limited. I will need to be intentional about where my energy and attention go. 4 means I have solid capacity available. I can meet the week's primary demands with reasonable support and recovery. And 5 means I feel well resourced, clear, and prepared for the demands currently in front of me. Choose the number that reflects what is true today. Not the number you believe a strong leader should select. Not the number that matches your job title. Not the number you would give if you had slept better, received more support, or had fewer concerns competing for your attention. What is your current capacity today? Now look at the week in front of you. What is likely to place the greatest demand on that capacity? It may be a decision, a deadline, a meeting, a conflict, a change you are expected to lead, an unresolved issue, a personal responsibility, or a commitment that no longer fits the reality of this week. Name one. Now ask, does this demand need to be carried exactly as it currently stands? That is an important leadership question. We often treat every demand as fixed, but some demands can be adjusted. You're the leader. A meeting can be shortened, a deadline can be renegotiated, a responsibility can be delegated, a conversation can be scheduled before the problem escalates, a request can receive a thoughtful "not this week." Additional information, resources, or support can be requested. The goal is not to eliminate every difficult demand. The goal is to stop treating every demand as equally urgent, equally important, and entirely yours to carry. Here is your capacity practice for this week. First, record your current capacity rating from 1 to 5. Second, identify the one demand most likely to strain that capacity. Third, choose one adjustment. Will you reduce it, renegotiate it, reschedule it, reassign part of it, or request the necessary support to carry it more responsibly? Choose one action and take it before the day ends. Do not wait until the pressure has already shaped your behavior. Make the adjustment while you can still lead it intentionally. This is the purpose of the Monday morning capacity check. It creates a pause between the demands entering your week and your automatic response to them. That pause gives you room to make a better decision, not only about what needs to be accomplished, but about how it can be accomplished without unnecessarily compromising your judgment, your well being, your relationships, or the people you lead. Awareness does not remove the demands, but it allows you to stop being surprised by a load you could already see coming. And that's it. If today's conversation resonated with you, subscribe and share this episode with someone who would benefit from it. You can continue the conversation with me and my team at thenightingalefirm.com. New episodes of the Human Capacity Advantage podcast are released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday, the Monday Morning Capacity Check prepares you to approach the week with greater awareness and intention. On Wednesday, our main classroom episode develops your understanding of the research, workplace realities, and leadership practices in the Human Capacity Advantage system. And on Friday, the Human Capacity Sit Rep teaches you to look beneath the headlines, recognize the capacity challenges shaping our world, and consider what responsible leadership requires. Monday prepares you, Wednesday develops you, and Friday teaches you to see the world differently. Between now and our next class, pay attention to the world around you. Notice where human capacity is being strengthened, where it is being depleted, and where you may never have thought to look before. I'm Dr. Kim Hyers. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, class dismissed.